You were calling me liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 hours. And it's coming down and now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Titans of Tier 3. We have a little bit of a mashup of the first two pairs of casters today. It's
Yep.
me, Ancient Angel, back here once again. I'm here with XPJ1. How are we doing? How are we feeling for this last best of three of the day?
I like to treat this one as like a marathon. We're going strong, and we're gonna keep pushing through, and hopefully we're gonna end this game today with maybe a nice BO3 or at least a competitive few maps. And I can't wait to finish off today's events with a good one.
Yeah, and I mean, just to talk about these teams, in case the title hasn't already spoiled it for you, it is Hyjinx Esports versus Sizzle Esports. And I mean, honestly, with the way that these two teams have been playing, this kind of to me feels like a bit of an undercard match, right? Like these are both teams that haven't been able to find their first win in Titans of Tier 3 just yet. And now we're coming into week 3, we're getting to around that midpoint in the regular season, and I mean, hey, at the end of this game, one of these two teams will have found a win,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, hey, a win is a win, no matter how you get it. As a Buffalo Sabres fan in NHL hockey, I know how that feels. Who cares if you shut out the worst two teams in the league? It's okay. We'll live.
Yep. And I mean, let's just pivot back to Valorant into the world of Valorant for a second and talk about these maps. We can see Sizzle Esports picking up Bind as their first map pick, Sunset as our second map pick, the map pick of Hyjinx, and Lotus should we need it. How do we feel? How do we feel about these three maps?
Personally, love a good bind. I think bind shows kind of the most traditional gameplay. I like to think bind's been there for a while. It's been in rotation pretty long, so those strats are going to be completed and they're going to be there. There's no question marks for new changes and stuff like that. Sunset, I mentioned it earlier way back around noon EST, but I said it's just a Cypher's game. I said it's just a Cypher map, and yes, there are obviously a lot of other ways to play the map, but it is going to come down to that space and managing that space correctly. And then Lotus, I mean, I am a avid Lotus lover. I love a good Lotus game.
I can agree. I'm a Lotus enjoyer, and I mean when it talks to Sunset and Bind, both of those maps super interesting. We should be able to get into Bind in just a few minutes. So let's forget about the rest of the map pool. Let's just talk about Bind for a second. We haven't seen Sizzle on Bind, and this is their own map pick. So now we get to come into this agent select here. How do we? What are we expecting? How are we feeling?
I mean, I haven't seen too much from either of these teams. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not super deep in the Titans of Tier 3 lore, so I don't exactly know what to expect. But just from the agents that they're hovering, there are some big question marks. I mean, you see that there's a deadlock and an ISO there. I don't know if that's exactly gonna get stuck through to the end, but I would certainly love to see these new kind of characters that are maybe strangers to the meta. They get it utilized on this map of Bind.
Yeah, and I mean something else is Externo picking up the harbor. Okay, isn't gonna come through as we can see. Q just opting to take up the Viper instead. Arguably the safer of the two wall controllers, but I mean, how do we feel? I think generally what we're about to see is the difference between what I'd call the more traditional comp with the double controllers on the side of, you know, on the side. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking. On the side of Sizzle Esports, it seems that we're gonna get the Brim Viper. Wait, are we double duelisting on both sides? Are we gonna see the Yoru raise for both teams?
Oh, oh, oh.
Moose.
I
Yeah,
guess so.
there it is. Okay. So we have a Yoru raise on both sides here.
This is a mirror matchup, no?
Yeah, it's mirror match.
Well, that's gonna
Interesting.
show who is going to be taking the superior brain power to the next level and who can really outplay their opponents, because all of that utility is the same at the end of the day, so it's just about who can use it better.
Or who can hit their shots better.
Yeah, Valorant go pew pew as well. Yeah, that is how that works.
Yeah, and something else that I think is going to be really interesting with this is typically when you think of double duelist, you think of it being, maybe a little bit attacker sided. because more duelists, more space taking. But I think it actually, in most cases, will actually end up helping the defenders because you have a kind of ability to be more proactive, gather a bit more info, and we can already see 4 players on the side of Sizzle Esports, you know, opting to push down long with only Q just alone at the A site as the Viper.
And we are about to get underway. This is going to be round 1, and you kind of got just your plain old standard default to start off the map. However, look how many people are pushing out of B long. The Flash going to be able to tag up the Sky, and now here comes the Flash in response. Moose is able to pick up his one over on A, but it's going to be Eternal picking up the Sky there. And that pivot is going to be over towards A. You know, the direction overseen on B site is going to result in that. Makes sense, and the bomb is going to be planted for Heaven, so we're going to get kind of a unique matchup on this first kind of plant. You know, typically you don't see that CT plant because that space isn't there. Ooze, though, able to pick up one. And now, just up to Maki's. Maki's not going to be able to find anything there. Now, a 4v2 in favor of Hyjinx Esports. They're looking for something. They're looking for any sort of way they can find an advantage into this round, and absolutely domes the crap out of that Yoru clone there, but it's going to be Eternal finding one, but no more, and External fighting for his life in the rest of the round, but not going to find it, as Moose is going to close that one out and bring Hyjinx up on the board.
Yeah, that's Hyjinx getting that first pistol round. It's important that you see it here because, you know, with Bind being almost an even map, right? Like, I don't necessarily... Is Bind favored for a specific side, attack or defense?
I think it's favored towards the winner.
Oh, that would do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's what I got to say. There are my 2 cents.
So...
Thank you, Valorant Analyst coming soon.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's important to get that pistol round on the board. You get a lot of economic advantage, and so now for Sizzle, it's just about, you know, getting as much damage as you can, and you can see that push in the market really doing just that.
Archery able to pick up a few, especially one with the paint shell, and hold up a little bit of the timing being whiffed there, but we got more paint shells where they came from, and he was able to pick up one on a Moose, and Eternal able to get one as well, but this heal going to allow for Hyjinx to get out of dodge, and now take these guns and convert that onto a B site plant. You kind of have Sizzle just fearing for their lives over in A, and have no clue where all of these players are. Yeah, you know where some of them are, but not exactly where everybody is. Now Eternal has a Phantom, so those are going to be some valuable weapons coming into this fight on the post plant. But again, something we see is the CT push by both teams, and we're going to have ourselves a bloodbath. Let's see who is going to go down first. It's going to be Archery. Eternal is able to pick up 2, and now it's 2v1 all of a sudden, but beautiful shot out onto Eternal is going to make this a 1v1 scenario. The Flash not finding anything just yet, but here's the bomb tap. Has the read and is able to not get the right click, but no time.
But the Phantom can get saved. You know, that's actually not a bad round at all out of Sizzle. They're able to kill all 5 players of Hyjinx, and they're able to take a Phantom with them into the next round. You can see Maki's holding it there. And that's going to be super kind of important in terms of economics, because you can see that the players on Hyjinx, they have, like, no buys. Like, Spectres, or not Spectres, Stingers and Buckies.
I think this is a true bonus, I think is what we call it.
Yeah, this is a real, you know, hard-working, gritty bonus right now.
And as we get underway, looks like Sizzle wants to put one on the board for the first time this map, and hopefully they're going to do it off of this kind of showers control that they've just seemed to have taken. But the Viper wall out, providing a little bit of pressure, is going to respond with a paint shell, and that's going to tag up a few, but luckily Sky Heal able to top up most of that, but there comes the wall down. That's going to prompt a hit, and Archery is going to be able to get one as well as Beeba Doogie. Now, Hyjinx with a 5v3 numbers advantage. Maybe it's not ideal for Sizzle. They're going to opt for the TT, and this is a great call. I mean, there is absolutely nobody on B. The question is, do they know that? I think they do now, as they are going to be getting onto this site and clutching this one up, at least for the plant, that is. Once again. Saw this out. Archery is able to get one there on the Externo, and Lane coming in late is going to be
One
pinching
enemy
this on the
remaining.
Brimstone. Maki's not able to find anything, and the true bonus, like we said, now just on to Q. Q needs to find something if they want to stay in this one, but no. Fondue takes that one down.
No can do, Fondue. He's able to get that. And you know, the other thing now that's concerning for, you know, this squad of Sizzle is they haven't been able to like find a round just yet. That was supposed to be the round that was served to them on a golden platter, right? Just a bunch of stingers, a Bucky, and you know, maybe it's just kind of how Crazy ended up playing it there towards Showers that cost them to, you know, force the feed the rifle over. I don't know, but you know, now this is a really dire economic situation for them.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to pull out maybe a Thrifty on one of these upcoming rounds. Moose able to find two. It looks like it might not be this round, that's for sure. But hey, there's a little bit of the dome from Crazy. Crazy able to find one, but has to back off because of the superior gun advantage in favor of Hyjinx. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. Now flashing through and trying to maybe catch somebody off guard, but ooh, Q finds a sneaky little one, and uh-oh, here comes the coordinated TP and swing by Ooze to draw off that attention. So well played there, whether that was intended or not. Moose with 3 on the round now, looking for maybe 4, but they are unaware of where this Sky is. Turno in U-Haul, trying to find something. The flash pops off, nothing there, but a shot does. Moose goes down. External now gets another one. It's just a 1v1 scenario. Looking for these bullets to connect. 2 bullets remaining. Looking for it and not going to get it as Ooze there with the swing. A valid attempt by External, but Hyjinx puts up another on the board.
Yeah, and again, Hyjinx, no signs of stopping just yet. Ooze only dying 1 time so far in this game. I mean, that alone is super impressive to me, especially because we're 4 rounds deep. You know, there's going to be guns bought across for the side of Sizzle, so hopefully they're going to be able to do something. I can see this double up in Showers with Eternal and Maki's, so hopefully, you know, they're able to really cement that control in towards this round, but we'll find out.
Who's next?
And the Yoru ultimate popped almost off the rip, so I do like this kind of PC in response. That's going to prompt out a fight, but Archery able to pick up 1, able to pick up 2, and not anything else other than that, but look at this Yoru. Went all the way through spawn and gets 1 before getting out. Wow. I mean, B-site is in favor of Hyjinx. They have superior positioning, superior numbers, and this is kind of looking shambles for Sizzle once again. What do you think?
I'd have to agree, right? I think these 2 players remaining, $600 and $1,000 each in the bank right now. You want to just save. You don't want to give your rifles up. You don't want to have to be forced to down to like another eco where you're only using a sheriff. I think just keeping the Vandals here is totally fine. Yeah, this is concerning right now for Sizzle, especially because this is their own map pick.
Right, and you gotta hope that they're gonna be able to maybe pick up something or save one of these rifles going into it, but there might have been a spot there on that Heaven Flare. No, it doesn't appear so, but we could see maybe a casualty coming out towards the end of this. Here they are. Looking for something, and there's the shot. Eternal ends up falling, so not only do they lose the round, but they also only save 1 gun.
I'm slightly confused by the purpose of that swing from Eternal.
It was a confidence swing. It's a confidence swing.
Okay. Right. If you're Eternal in that position, do you feel confident right now? You feel confident after that swing?
After that swing, no. Before that swing, also no. But that's okay, because they're gonna win this one here. Sizzle has to bring some life back, and they got 5 guns to do so.
They also have a showstopper, and that could be huge if Eternal can find some value with it.
And here comes the pressure now. Up, be long, but
it's
gonna be Q that finds an extra pick, but does get traded now.
Stim beacon here.
This response is going to be the TP back over from the Yoru onto B. but we could see a teleport in response to that as well.
Time to jump.
Looks like all of the util coming out, and here come the 2 duelists doing what they do most, and that is making some space. What do? They get one pick and able to pick up a second one, and that site is theirs. They are not going anywhere. Nobody can force them off. They are gonna stick to their own plan, and they're gonna make you play how they want to. And now Hyjinx has the numbers advantage once again. I feel like it's deja vu. We got 4 players up, a showstopper online if need be, but here comes the stab hurt in elbow, and now it's just about how minimal can they make this damage if you're Hyjinx. Sizzle, they need to find something here. Playing together, but playing a little bit loud, and are able to be heard, and here comes the swing out, the trade there, and now without losing too many, Hyjinx is able to pick up once again another round.
Yeah, and I want to start seeing some sort of adaptation here from Sizzle, right? We keep seeing the same kind of setup where you can see both the Brimstone and the Rays going in towards showers. You know, like this aggressive shower setup, and then, you know, the Viper over by B and the Sky over by B long. Like, start changing it up, start doing something unique. I mean, especially in a round like this where you don't really have much to lose because you're on an eco. You can see Q with a shorty. You know, like, this is where I want to see something unique, and I think we're hopefully gonna start seeing that. Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as you see that shorty, you know what that means? It means there is a Viper ultimate invested, but now it's about which ult is gonna go first, and it looks like Q's going down. But Maki's able to get one with the Molly, so not all lost there. Maki's able to find an extra one for the road, and a third, by the way. Hello, Maki's is here to play. Eternal comes down, and this one looking like it could go Sizzle's way. 3v1, all of the ultimates online needed, but there is going to be a sprint out by Fondue all the way over to this B site. The Seeker invested, so now they will be aware that this player is going to be on B relatively shortly, but the plant will be able to go down. Opting not to, though. This is a play, you know, expecting somebody to be on CT. The tap, not even heard by anyone, which is really, really strange. You know, the fact that all 3 players didn't choose to follow up the Seeker. They instead, all of them are anchoring on A, so this timing could be missed, but Fondue
30 seconds left.
Looking for some sort of kill here. I don't know if he expects Crazy coming down long, though. And it looks like Fondue will not be able to. The bomb does go down, but Sizzle able to clean this one up and finally get themselves on the board.
There it is. I have to give so much props in that round to Maki's, right? 3 kills on the round, you're buying a hero rifle on a Brimstone as well. Like, the amount of discipline that you have to have in that scenario, and the fact that, you know, he's able to just consistently sit down and frag out on a role that, in my opinion, takes a lot of brain power, right? When you're playing a role like Brimstone or Killjoy, I don't think frags are the thing that's on the forefront of your mind. So the fact that you're able to sit down and do that, that's super incredible.
I think Maki's might just be Demon 1 at this point, right? You know, kills on Brimstone must be Demon 1. That's how that works.
That's Demon 2.
Demon 2, 2.0.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see some ultimates, most likely this round. The dog able to spot out the Yoru. But this one is going to be forced, it looks like. A lot of pressure coming out, and Fondue going to make his mark on the map, saying, I'm the better Brimstone, but he's going to get paid for that one with a showstopper to the noggin. Bruno picks up that one, the clone getting in the way, and the flash there, but full blind goes down Crazy. Moose able to pick that one up, and this bomb should be able to go down. Ooh, but Eternal finds one off of the Heaven. Push going to allow for at least some added time to be there. Doobie now finding the plants, but it's gonna be Moose that finds the shot onto Eternal, now putting numbers in their favor, and now it's just about who can land their shots. It's gonna be Externo evening this one up. Now 2v2. Very little utility available to both teams, but still some flashes, and Archery is going to utilize that one to take down Externo. Here comes one more flash from the double swing there, and Q is able to get both! Okay, bud. Okay.
Oh my god. I need to see that from Q's perspective.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god. That's incredible. Holy, what a clutch out from Q. It does so much, and now you can see, I mean, with kind of the state of the money situation, Crazy's able to buy up to an op, and this is kind of a backbreaking round for both sides here, where if Sizzle lose, they're forced down to probably like a weird force buy, half buy territory, and same thing with Hyjinx. So, you know, this is a really important round.
All I'm saying is you questioned my confidence, Pete. You said, why could he ever do that? And I said, that's because they're going to put some rounds on the board. You doubted me, and look what happened. Sizzle, able to find some rounds on the board, not able to find the op shot, though. Now that ultimate from that Brimstone is going to change the positioning with a ding through the wall. It's going to prevent that peek from coming out as well. That would be a clone, sir. But now looking for the shots. Moose able to find one right off the bat, and Beabadoobie's gonna take that one down. Externo, and yeah, something that we saw a little bit of dominant fashion out from Sizzle. Just easily gets taken right back by Hyjinx. They said we want our momentum back, and they are gonna have it. Maki's with life shown. Who's with this work? This is going to tremendous timing. Yep, Maki's gonna go down there. 7-2. Hyjinx. They said, okay, you put a few rounds on the board, but we're taking ours back.
Yeah, and I mean, Hyjinx do exactly that, right? They get their 3-4 rounds on the board. Or, well, technically, 7 rounds on the board for Hyjinx, but for the side of Sizzle, they got their 2 rounds on the board, and now Hyjinx starting to build up that momentum yet again, and now coming into the last 3 rounds of this half. The best that Sizzle could really hope for here is a 7-5, and that includes getting a Thrifty in this round.
No, I'm calling it now. I think Maki's has an ace today. I don't know what map, what round, but it's coming. I feel it.
Okay.
And now
it's not this round.
It's not this round. Maki's is gonna fall. But now it's gonna be up to the rest of Sizzle to come back into this one and equalize it somehow. These smokes all fading though. So that's all 3 smokes all down for Hyjinx. So we got no smokes on this round in total. Now Paint Shell coming out. This is gonna damage up Archery. Luckily not gonna take him out, but does force him into the peak, and Ultra's tagged up a little bit. Does hear the drop from heaven though, most likely. Q finding a timing, is gonna be able to get it, but not landing the shots. That's really, really unfortunate. Be aware of the Brimstone, he is, but not able to land the shots there either. Crazy finds one in response, but trades are there, and it looks like Hyjinx is gonna be able to take this one. Not without a fight though. External getting a few extra, but when it's all said and done, Hyjinx is up to 8-2.
Okay. Well, now we're at 8-2. The best Sizzle can hope for is an 8-4. And I think if they want to try and do that, if they want to get that done, I actually want to see them try and make some market presence, right? I want to see either a push out hookah in towards ramp, or maybe we go and see a push out of a short in towards market. I just want to see some presence there, because really what Hyjinx has been doing really, really well is playing this rotation game, right? Like, being able to, like, take some engagements in certain parts of the maps and then just leaving if they want to, like, for free.
Q looking very dangerous here, though. The anti-flash comes out, but there's no flash. It's just Q's bullets, and Fondu able to trade that one out. Now 4v4 on this round. You can see all 4 players from Hyjinx over on the B side, but looks like there might be a plan to hit this teleporter once they can drag out enough rotates.
I've got your trail.
Here comes the Seeker for information. Based off this information, they're going to decide whether to hit or not. They see one in hookah, one in elbow, and they are going to decide to GTFO. They are swapping on over onto this A site. But who's going to be waiting for them? It's going to be Maki's. Maki's with the ultimate, with the Molly. Decides not to use them just quite yet. Here comes the ult. Going to force them to peek into him. They're going to be able to get one, but does get traded now as Who is finding a nice shot, but 3v2. Externo picks up an extra one, and now all of these ultimates are being used, so this is kind of do or die for Sizzle now. They've invested pretty much everything, but Ooze finds a couple of nice shots, and now Eternal position aware, and now has to deal with a Viper with, I believe, 2 mollies still remaining. Now the reposition into U-Haul. Decides not to opt for the 6.5. Knows that the player is now off now. And Ooze picks up 4 very, very valuable rounds. I mean, what a round by Ooze.
Yeah,
Last
Ooze
round
just
before the
completely
switch.
shutting down any chance that Sizzle would even have in this round. Just saying, no, we want to get to 9 at least. And potentially now looking at just the buy, it could even be 10, right? You know, Maki's and Externo, the only 2 players for Sizzle able to buy up full rifles. A Bulldog out for Q, but I mean, Crazy on this Yoru has gone almost completely silent.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's rough when your ping is better than your credit count. And that's not going to be super, super ideal, even if your ping is 1. Archery now going to be applying a little bit of pressure with Yuto. Moose trying to invest his ultimate as well.
Welcome to my
Now,
world.
Viper ultimate is going to be what is saved for the final round. Moose able to pick up Q, so Q's not going to be able to have a say in this one.
Prepare for hellfire.
Brimstone ultimate seen as well, so, you know, that's what we were talking about. These ultimates that Sizzle used last round, they could have come in handy now, but it's not going to help them as they don't have anything. Moose goes and gets an extra 1. And now Ooze able to get one with a stake bite. Maki's with 2, but Maki's needs a little bit more if there's any sort of value. And yeah, it's going to be Fondue and Beepadooby getting those ones and bringing this to a 10-2 half.
Switching
So-
sides.
I don't know if I'm cursed today. I don't know what's going on, but I casted 3 maps today, and every single one ended at 210 at the half.
Well,
I don't-
you know,
I don't know if that means something.
well, we're gonna say that it's so in other words, Sizzle, they have an excuse now to blame you.
Yes,
Okay, okay, just want to get that straight.
do.
It's not my fault. You heard it
No.
go first.
it's not. I think I'll have to take the L on this one. And this is a really interesting timeout coming from Hyjinx. Hyjinx is up 10-2, and they're swapping onto the defense here. I'm wondering if maybe there's just some, you know, shenanigans going on that maybe some of the, you know, Hyjinx players are like, hey, guys, maybe we should get this under control and we don't choke a 210 lead, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you certainly don't want to let this other team come back into it, and maybe that's why it might be a tech
Maybe-
pause.
Maybe this timeout turns into a tech pause. You know what? Maybe I really am cursed.
Yeah, you know what?
Thinking about it.
You are cursed, and I'm gonna put it this way: you're even jinxing it,
I'm hijinxing it?
hijinxing it.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe this. I'm hijinxing it. Well, I guess we can break down so far what we've seen from both of these teams, and I would, you know, dare to say that Moose is having a game. Moose is 17-8. For those of you that don't know, quick math, that's over a 2 KD. So that's pretty impressive on its own. But then you also have a supporting cast of Ooze and Archery, each equally putting up 11 frags in 12 rounds. That's pretty incredible. And then on the other side, I mean, Maki's and Eternal both have 9 kills. Q and Externo both have 6. I think maybe the difference here is just within the coordination, because it has felt like Hyjinx has just felt like one mind, like we're just gonna hive mind it out, and it has seemed like it's worked so far.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell there is some errors in the side of that coordination over for, you know, Q and company on that kind of side. So it's just about, can you coordinate this utility into a way that benefits you and you're able to get a trade, you know, on the side of Sizzle Esports, as opposed to just pushing out and dying, and, you know, maybe you get a pick or two, but there's no response to play off of it, and maybe that utility would have been better saved and used for post plant.
Maybe. And something as well is on that defense for Sizzle in that first half, it did feel like it was essentially like there was no fight once the site got hit. And maybe that might have to do with the fact that they didn't have a Sentinel. And, you know, the closest thing they had to a Sentinel was Q on that Viper. But, you know, maybe that's something that they have to go workshop. But yeah, it really did just kind of feel like Hyjinx was like, what site do we want to take? Flip a coin. Oh, it's A. Okay, we're just gonna walk into A and take it. And then Sizzle was like, you got us. Darn, you got us. We're gonna have to try again next time. Because it really was. There was like the one clutch that Q got where he like double sprayed. He did like the spray transfer, the 1v2, and then there was around just after it where like
Thrifties with Maki, right? Makis?
yeah, it was the Thrifties with Makis that ended with the Q clutch, I think. And then no, the Thrifty with Makis was before, and then the Q clutch was the round after. And those are the only 2 rounds they got. So I would love to see what they're able to do. Speaking of Hyjinx, I can say Byjinx, at least for now in terms of tech pauses, as we are looking to get back into the game shortly. So no, not are we not a fan of Byjinx?
Byjinx, I think I'm a. Can I say I'm about to die Jinx? I don't know. I don't know. I'm about to cry Jinx. There we go. There we go.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're live Jinx, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, Sizzle, they can't rely on any sort of heroics. As you've seen from Q and from Makis, you really just have to be able to win this. And I know we talked about earlier this kind of mirror matchup and how it's just whoever uses their utility better. That's who will come out on top. And right now, it seems to be Hyjinx.
It does. It really does feel like it's been Hyjinx world. We'll see what they're able to do on this defense side. But
Cutting through.
these pistol rounds again.
The main pressure coming up now, and looks like Sizzle seems pretty coordinated, but they do get tagged up on the way in, so may provide for a rude awakening. I mean, there are 4 players waiting for them through this smoke. This could be a painful situation, and you got pistol firing upon pistol firing, but it looks like Sizzle's coming out on top for the moment. Able to get those kills, but now Ooh is trying to find something. Doesn't play to get traded though, so that is another number advantage on the side of Sizzle. Though Hyjinx archery finding one, going for the nade lineup, which totally was improvised, I would guess. But maybe he's onto something that I don't know. Prepping now the double swing onto archery. It could be a triple swing now, and archery just needs to find something. Maybe a lucky wallbang. And there's the one. How about a second one? No, it's just going to be Q that secures that one. Team Ace, and that coordination for that team really works out on the side of Sizzle.
Yeah, and the big thing, the really important thing, for those of you that are wondering why a Team Ace kind of gets a special name, it's not just because it's kind of cool that everyone on the team got a kill. The other thing that's really important is that guarantees that everyone on the team is starting to build towards that ult. You can see, Makis with this orbital strike already, almost halfway there. And that, when we talk about a Brimstone ult, that's super impactful, especially when you're on the attack. The ability to just clear out a large section of the site automatically, huge.
You can see this pressure now being applied towards this A site with that Molly. But Maki is able to get a nice little doink onto B, but Doobie Crazy also finding one onto archery. Trying to play ring around with Rosie with the Roomba, but not going to work super well as External is going to be able to pick up Fondue. So maybe we're seeing the Hyjinx kind of start to fall a little bit, trying to stutter a little bit. Or maybe it's just Sizzle absolutely turning up as they make their way onto site, get this plant down, and this is going to be a tough one if Hyjinx wants to get some damage done.
We'll have to find out what they're able to do.
One enemy remaining.
Engagement in towards showers does go Crazy's way. And it leaves poor little Ooze in a 1v5 with nothing but plastic.
Flawless.
Yeah. That's what you would expect to happen there.
Yeah. Very
Another
unfortunate.
fight?
And
Please,
now that it's
like,
410,
let's leave whatever happens
double
to the
digits. Hyjinx were able to get double digits in this first round, but in that first half. But now that we're coming into the bonus round, hopefully, assuming I really am not cursed, Hyjinx should be able to take this just due to weapon advantage. I mean, you do see Q on a Vandal, a couple Bulldogs the way of Mocking an Eternal, but if you're able to play the weaponry right, they should be okay for Hyjinx.
Sizzle though, they do have some really strong guns. And Boost is gonna fall. That's a shot through the smoke, by the way. So it may not even be about the aim, it might just be about the luck, which certainly could be playing a part on the side of Sizzle.
If I'm Moose, I'm so tilted there.
Yeah, I would not be
With a
happy.
Guardian?
Oh yeah, I mean, you only got 12 bullets. There's no even spray. It's
Time
just
to jump.
one
just
bullet
tapping.
catches you to the head.
Yeah, I'm so tilted.
Hyjinx now needs to find the equalizer relatively soon. That clone going through the CP though.
Look at A. A is completely open here. Like, no one is on site. You do have this flank, which could be an insane timing for archery if he's aware of Crazy.
Ooh! Archery able to find that one. So the plant is going to go down, but you know, that equalizer, like we talked about, needing to be found, there it is. And now we got ourselves a 4v4. Here comes the flood now through CC. Eternal is going to fall to archery. That's going to be a big pick now. Now Maki's has to try and find one. The dink comes out and Maki's able to find it. Fondue now. Looking for something, but decides not to go through that shower.
Molly.
Decides to instead molly it off.
Like butter.
But Maki's there. Ooh, the knife being
Last
tagged
player
out. I would
standing.
assume something ran out of bullets there, but now Ooze is able to pick up that final kill. And, you know, a round that we said should have gone the way of Hyjinx does go the way of Hyjinx.
Yes, it does. And I don't, you know, Q with the knife, I think just, you know, being a little silly. You know,
He claims this gun.
in all
was
fairness though, how BM would it be to get a kill in like a full gun round where like everyone's, it's not like a pistol round or anything, like people have ammo, you have ammo in your gun, and you go for a knife kill, like running around like that. Like that's gotta be, that I'd be, again, like we're talking about tilting, you know, that's your way back in, is mental warfare.
Mental
You know?
warfare indeed. I mean, if you want to win, you're going to do whatever you need to do to win. That clone going to fake out the fact that there might not be anyone in this TP. But Moose is in there.
This is a much slower
Ooh.
start to these rounds. I mean, the person who's developed the most in terms of attackers on the map is Q. I mean, everyone is like completely calm here. Oh, Maki's with that orbital strike.
I mean, you just have
Pretty
all
dangerous.
of these teams waiting. Nobody really wants to make the first mistake, especially Hyjinx with the setup in hookah here. And might be a little bit scary as they decide not to go through, but here comes the TP, and now you have all 5 players available. Oh boy, this is going to be dangerous, and that is going to be one dead Fondue. Fondue getting cooked a little bit too much there.
Yeah,
Ends
Fondue
up
melted
getting burnt.
under all that pressure.
Yeah. I mean,
Just so much
you don't want your
utility.
Fondue getting burnt. That's not good.
Just melted away.
30 seconds left.
Sizzle now with a strong push down B long. But this wrap coming out from Hyjinx should give them the information they need to. And now, Eternal's gonna find Ooze. And now the pressure being applied by Hyjinx.
remaining.
And the positioning's there. Sizzle just absolutely dismantling this push. Finds a way to get it done. The wall bang's there, and now they are aware of where this player is. Here comes the lineup, and well, not gonna fall just yet. Archery still alive in this one. No flawless available for Sizzle. But Hyjinx, Archery needs a little bit of something here. Deciding
I
whether
think at
or
this
not
point-
to save this.
I think at this point you do save and you just try and play for exits. You're right by the teller, but never mind. He just says, "You know what? I'm playing it safe. I'm getting out. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home." I get that.
If he wants to go home, we should probably win the round then, no?
Please, sir, let me go home, please.
Is that from a movie? I'm
No.
dumb. Oh, okay.
I'm just pretending to be like a sickly Victorian child.
I don't know. It sounded like something that would be said in like a Christmas Carol,
Oh, dude. You know what? I could see it.
right? You know the
Yeah.
Let me go home, sir, please. I beg of
Yeah.
you. It's Christmas.
Speaking of sickly, let's look at Hyjinx's economy real quick. I mean, this is really sad, you know. This is equally as sad as like Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol, you know, like just limping along, taking a save round. 3 classics, a sheriff. Oh, hold on, a showstopper though.
Uh-oh, looking a little dangerous, not able to find anyone, so that's gonna prompt out a little bit more aggression on the short side. Moose is able to get one though with a rifle that kind of seemed to appear out of almost nowhere, but it is going to be retrieved. Smoke and Archery able to pick up one, but Fondue falling for it, and now Inferno trying to get something with the classic. His trades are there, and now it's just all up to the Fondue with very low HP at that.
Yeah, but here's the advantage of getting a Vandal in this situation, right? Being able to pick up this Vandal. As long as Bibadoobie can hit the headshots first, then none of the HP matters, okay? 5 HP, that's enough to hit a headshot. Just hit the shot. Lol.
But unfortunately, you know what does do 5 damage? A raise satchel.
Oh, a raise nade too. A showstopper, mayhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that would certainly not be well.
A Sky Trailblazer bite, perchance.
Bibadoobie now looking for something. Positioning Herd. Opting to place for the exit there. The Bird able to find one, but not able to find the second. Eternal brings this one a little bit closer once again, and now you got yourselves a 6-11 game. Back up from 10-2, remember.
I've been very wrong about this so far. I said, you know, with the double duelist comp, I said it might actually skew defender-sided, and then I unfortunately remembered that that's not how either of these teams are playing this comp. They're not really playing super proactive with this on their rifle rounds, right? They're choosing to play a kind of more standard defense, where, you know, you take control over like the middle contested territories instead of really just
now you have a lot of ultimates being invested right off the rip. I mean, that is 4 or 5 ultimates being invested in total. 4 from the attackers, and Q luckily is going to be able to pick up one there for all of their troubles. But now the question is, was it too much too quickly? They kind of have to give up all of the space. They don't really have anything on site. Now Eternal falls for it, and Moose able to invest his ultimate here. Going to be clearing out site, clears out bench, and now trying to find U-Haul space, and Boss this Brimstone in there. Notice he's going out. There comes the pressure, and now Moose gets that kill. Moose looks for another one, doesn't find it. Crazy gets traded out though, and now just up to a 2v3. Seekers going to stall a little bit and allow for the half. The Molly going to come down in the headshot there as well, but the half still there. Is there enough time for Ooze to get this? It does not appear to be so.
Tragic.
That's a lot of ultimates.
Yeah, that was all ultimates except for Q's Viper Pit. So that's really concerning if you're Hyjinx, because that is a round that kind of just felt like it was yours. I'm wondering if maybe there was any sort of utility that could have been used to keep Q off of the swing there. I don't know. But unfortunately, just now we're kind of looking at this 10-2, and now we're 7-11. I mean, the lead has literally shrunk in half.
Yeah, I mean, look at this aggression, though, from Hyjinx once again. I mean, it's what they do on their eco rounds every now and then. And I think that they are aware of it on the side of Sizzle. Question is Fondue able to hold his own and maybe get a pick here? Breaking this dog to provide a little bit more presence. Not giving as much information. Dodging that flash, but sight is going to be in favor of Sizzle. Fondue just needs to hold some ground, and staying alive will provide more pressure than getting a pick right now. Provides for this added worry that they have to deal with. And stalls for this time doesn't allow them to get through CT. And now, here's where this flank is coming. Question is, are they ready for it? And it's gonna be Crazy and Q finding their picks. Moose able to get one for the road, but now Fondue, who's been at U-Haul this entire time, just needs to find something. And doesn't appear to be so. Looks like this is going to remain in the hands of... Woo! I was going to say Sizzle, but now Fondue at least gets one. Moose is getting an extra one. And we could see a player get caught here. Maki's picks up one, but does fall. So, I mean, for an eco buy, Hyjinx... Ooh! I was going to say, they save a rifle almost, but they get 4 guns down.
They do, and you know, now as well, Moose picking up that operator. Hey, you're 22 and 15. You have the most kills in the lobby by far. So you know what? If you wanna pick up an operator here, especially on the defense, where we kind of want to see some more, you know, plays. I just hope you're a bit more proactive with it. I don't want to just see you in, you know, A heaven or like backside of A the entire round. You know, I want to see you maybe get a little bit mobile, maybe in towards showers and towards short. Take some aggressive lines.
I actually like this clone play coming out from A, as it does provide some sound there, but equalization of pressure on B. Going to make for it to be Badubi falling down like London Bridge, but Moose able to pick up one with this operator. Trying to find some more through the smoke, but no pressure just quite yet on the site. Now, Yoru in spawn gets one for it, and Crazy able to claim site for theirs. Now 4v3 in favor of Sizzle, and this Viper ultimate is going down. But some very, very valuable ultimates for Hyjinx if they choose to use them. All 3 players coming in through CT, but they got to clear through a very rough Viper pit.
Honestly, I feel like if you're Hyjinx, saving is out of the question. You still have an operator on the board. It's available to you in, you know, upcoming rounds. You're retaking into a Viper's pit with no sky, so you don't have the intel. I mean, obviously they're going for this.
Last player standing.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with 3 players and a Viper ultimate, and I think there's going to be an opt for a save. What gun is in their hands, though? It seems to be a Vandal. Ooh, but Q does go down, so you know, a little bit of interesting antics towards the end, but you know, they are coming back at the end of the day. Sizzle bringing this one to 11-9.
But now, I mean, look at the economy here. This is almost surely double digits for Sizzle. You know, Moose down to a Stinger. I mean, everyone else is able to get a rifle, but when you're heavy hitter, the guy who has 23 kills... Okay, never mind. He gets a judge. My cries for help have been appeased.
Well, you know what.
Are you a judge enjoyer?
I'm a stiffy haver. I have the stiffy
A what?
judge.
Okay.
You know, the Elder Flame.
Oh, got it. Sorry,
Yes.
that didn't track in my head.
Yeah, no, probably should have phrased that differently, but that's okay. Fondue
Maybe.
able to get the one there. That's going to provide some hope and life into the side of Hyjinx.
Toxin screen down.
Yeah, if only Fondue had the stiffy, then it would have been even funnier.
Smoke's down.
It's true. Moose, though,
Spike
picking up
down
one, and
A.
Moose falls for it. The ultimate used by Hyjinx, but you pushed up into an unpredictable position, you could say. But now, all the map control given right back up. With these 2 players in kind of A showers here, you could see some sort of TP that, you know, obviously we know to be the right call, but might not be super lucky for the side of Sizzle. But here it is. They realize just in time as that wrap was coming out, but there's only 1 player remaining.
30 seconds
And that's
left.
going to be Q, still trying to remain with this lurk on A and flank through CT. This bomb is going to go down, but is he going to get caught off guard? Is this time going to be there? It is for Ooze, that's for sure. And it's
Spike
going to
planted.
be 3v2 in favor of Hyjinx. And they are stalling for this push from long.
Stalling for everything. They're getting completely encircled here on the site. 2v3, Boombot still available for archery. BB Doobie with a fair bit of utility left. His kid as well.
Ooh.
One
Plus to
enemy
come out here,
remaining.
it's going to
Last
be a
player
1v1
standing.
scenario. And is there enough time to get this? It is going to be a half. Going to be landing the shots. Bibadoobie plays that one pretty well, and Hyjinx going to get to map point and bring this one 12-9.
There it is. Hyjinx able to get
Match
it 12-9. That's match point. And the kind of really important thing here is the economy. Like, this was absolutely a game of economics through and through. Now we're looking at it in this potentially final round here, round number 22, and Q down to a sheriff. Maki's the player that you said has gone, kind of huge for this squad, has gotten some insanely clutch moments, especially on that defender side, down to a sheriff. So I'm definitely quaking in my boots right now from a Sizzle Esports fan.
Some shots out, but nothing found just quite yet. But it's going to be Moose that finds the pick on A. So already, this is starting to look a lot more grim for Sizzle than when it started. And now with this bomb leaning over towards his B site, it still kind of seems like they don't know exactly where they want to go just yet. Hyjinx, Moose with this kind of Yoru ultimate definitely wants to save for information for as long as possible, or for maybe a site retake, but the showstopper I think has to be utilized on the side of Sizzle. It's just about how can they get the information they need to pick the correct site. It's going to be a sky flash, it looks like, and tagging something, but not sure where it is. And Moose is going to teleport on over, but nobody quite aware of what's happening just yet. Crazy actually falling, but Trey's there. Eternal gets 2, and now it's a 3v3. We got ourselves an equal match right now.
We do.
30
Look at
seconds
this
left.
flank coming out from Archery in towards Market, completely controlling this A side. It allows these two remaining players on the site to know that it's going to end B. You can see the hit coming in.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness.
Defenders win.
And just like that,
Bingo.
yeah,
Never retire.
as soon as that hit comes in, the hit is over. The map is over. It is Hyjinx. Eventually, it took them a while to get there, but they did, in fact, get there. They got there. 3 needed rounds on that defending side. They took it across the line. Moose, 27-18. 350 ACS. Archery, second on the scoreboard at 18-15. Ooze, 18-12. I mean, this was absolutely Hyjinx just saying, you know what? This is Bind, and we like Bind, so we're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, though, I mean, this is something that we'll never know the answer to, is did that timeout actually end up hurting them? Right before the half, they took a timeout, so maybe that slowed them down a little bit, took away their momentum, or maybe it's just they're prepping for it because they know it's their weaker half, and they actually improved on it, and it could have been a lot worse for them had they not taken that timeout.
Well, that's true, but ultimately, they still won. So it's not like we can sit here and say if they didn't take the timeout, they wouldn't have won. So they won either way, with or without the timeout. So I mean, in terms of anything related to Bind, that's it. But this is a best of 3. We still have to wait and see who's going to win 2 maps. Will it be over on Sunset, or will we have to go all the way to Lotus? I guess for everyone, including us, we're just going to have to stick around and find out after this short break.
breaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain game of survival. Any time or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, no, no. I got no, no, no rival. No rival. No rival. Tell me now, what you gon' do? We can do this face to face. The reckoning is coming real soon. Doesn't matter what you say. Try to tell you this is my moment. Can't take mine 'cause I own it. Don't you know that I'm locked and unloaded? You're out of focus. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain game of survival. Any time or place, watch 'em run away. I got no. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my phone. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, no, no. I got no, no, no rival. No rival. I got no, 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 no rival. No rival. No rival. Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about it makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, it's cold and losing my control. The light is gone, the night is come, it's crazy now. The night is gone, I wish that you could save me from my isolation. My life too complicated. I stop these conversations. Control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. No relation. We got no relation. No relation. The night is coming, it's crazy now. The night is coming, it's only time. And it goes like this. You could save me.
Hello, gamers, and anyone else that might be here. I mean, your cats, your dogs, your grandma. Hello, grandma.
Grandmas can be gamers.
Grandmas can be gamers, but they're here for Titans of Tier 3, Week 3, and they're here to see Map 2 of this game from Sizzle Esports against Hyjinx. So, right now, Hyjinx leads 1-0. They did have a pretty solid map. They did allow for the comeback to kind of come back a little bit, but Bind went their way, and now we're headed to Sunset. My name is Ari, also known as XPJ, and I'm here with Ancient Angel. Angel, what do you got to say?
I gotta say that I love Sunset. I don't understand any of the Sunset hate. I love this map. I think it is so good. It's so fun. It's so interesting to see the different comps, right? We've seen Harbor Viper on Sunset. We've seen like the EDG comp. We've seen now the current thing, which is like this weird like Haven comp, but they also add in Cypher into the mix, and I love it because it's fine. It's fun. It has its own niche. It's kind of like Pearl, but it's also not Pearl because there's no like real like long ways in. You can split the A site completely on its own. It's so much fun. There's so much macro to this game. I love Sunset, and compared to Bind, Sunset is just so much better. Let's be real.
I hate Sunset. I am the person you talk about. I am the Sunset hater. Mainly I just don't like Cypher also. That's the bigger aspect. I would love Sunset if there wasn't a Cypher utility in literally everywhere I went. And maybe I'm just bad at the game though.
No, listen, I love Sunset. I find that, it's super interesting and enjoyable to watch, and a lot of the different comps that we end up seeing, obviously Cypher loves this map, and I think that it's good that Cypher has a home base in the meta, because otherwise you just get a ton of killjoy, and a ton of Viper, and then a little bit of Chamber on Lotus and Bind. So I think it's nice to see Cypher have his own home hub map in the form of Sunset. And looking at these comps, already something kind of interesting coming out of Hyjinx. They're sticking with the double duelist. Moose and Archery both opting to pick up the double duelist, and then on the side of Sizzle, we end up seeing that double initiator come out with the Sky and the Breach.
Interesting. I mean, I do like the Sky Breach combo. You know, it's going to be a lot more brawl heavy. You're going to get these scrappy fights on site. And honestly, that's what makes the best and most entertaining gameplay. Personally, I love to see that when 5 people are blind and everyone's just spraying around and they're trying to get the bullets to land. But, you know, that's Valorant. I love chaos.
In all fairness, I think some of the most impressive clips are when someone is like breach stunned. You know, they're concussed, and then they just get like 3 kills anyways with a Vandal, just tapping away.
That actually happened today on my earlier game.
Okay, see, this is how we rank up. We ignore the breach utility. What do you mean you're blind? Just spray. What do you mean that you're stunned? Just spray. Okay, that's the counter to breach. So watch how many kills that someone gets while stunned or flashed in this game. I'm telling you, it's gonna be more than you think.
Are you saying that Breach is a bad agent?
I'm saying that Breach is heavily overrated, but still really good.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we're gonna get ourselves a little bit of a fight in mid right off the rip, but look at this raised positioning. It might be in a position to do some damage. Archery looking for something. Not gonna push up just yet. Not trying to get too overzealous. There comes the paint shell, and good thing that they didn't push up, but Archery might be a little bit dead here, as that Aftershock might catch them, but now Archery is in a lot of trouble. Isolated in center sight, and now the smoke coming off the right click trying to land, and Crazy does some nice parkour to get that kill down. And now it's just up to Crazy. Crazy trying to find something here. But they're going to decide to back off.
5v4 in a pistol round, I think that makes sense, you know, just regather your numbers, don't give isolated fights away. Just decide if you're gonna full send it into B, then just full send it into B, you know, don't overcomplicate things.
Moose though might have the positioning of the century. Might have this alert coming out as there's nobody really to let them know if there's a flank push coming in, but
30 seconds
this
left.
is going to be a B hit, as we see. And this plant starts to go down, but Biba able to get one.
Planted.
And this cam's still up, providing some comms, and there's the tag as well. This breach maybe going a little bit lower on the positioning, but now it's a 2v2. I mean, you got pandemonium, you got absolute chaos, and Biba looking for something, but there comes the crossfire. Crazy with the ace, baby. Hello.
Yeah, you know, you said a Maki's ace was incoming. This is the first ace of the day?
Yeah, at least in these two, in this matchup.
Was there an ace earlier today? Because there wasn't an ace in the series I casted.
There might have been. I don't know. That was a long 10 hours ago.
Alright, so not the first ace of the day, but still the first ace of this series as Crazy. I mean, just completely popping off. 5-0. I guess that would happen after a pistol round.
So an ace on a pistol round. Okay. Anyway, that's going to allow for Crazy to get his full shield Vandal, which is going to be really, really valuable on this round. And
coveted round 2 full shield Vandal. This is something you don't get very often, and when you do, it's a Reyna Gully. Oh! Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so are you jinxing it again this time, or are you just gonna let them play, or
it's the low by jinx, you know?
The low by jinx. Okay. Well, Ooze able to get one with the classic, and that's gonna be numbers advantage for them. They are gonna post up for this kind of CT hold. They are going to give up flank and market. They do have these weaponry advantages though, so there is a possibility, but it looks like the shots are coming out now. Spots one, and Moose not able to land the shots as Maki is able to pick up the Bulldog kill. Crazy now with that Vandal getting some value, but Moose able to pick one up with the Classic. Now the trade trying to be there, and Eternal's gonna get two with the Classic. Now Fondue has to stick this, or at least get it to half, but there's Eternal, the right click from both players, and it's going to be Fondue getting that, but not enough time for Fondue to defuse the bomb.
You know what we say there? Good
What do we
try,
say there?
Vince.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, listen, it was really, really close, and you have to give so much credit to Moose and I believe Fondue at the start of the round for doing that push up A, completely catching Q off guard. It completely opens up the round for Hyjinx to try and get that post-plant retake in. It's just, unfortunately, there wasn't enough time, and, you know, credit to all of those players on Sizzle who were able to stall out for that long to let the time go, because, you know, in a 3v5 scenario where the retakers, they have the 5, that's really tough.
Camera taken out.
I mean, talk about some good economy damage though. Like, look at that pressure. That, you know, we're seeing another true bonus once again, and you can see all 5 players are in mid. And if Archery is able to maybe get one, this nade is going to be big with stopping that push. But a nade in response. The dog giving her information though, and this guy looking to find something, and it's going to be Ooze that gets
Spike
one, but
down
falls
mid.
for it. It's going to allow for a rifle to appear in the hands of Crazy, but now
One enemy
Sheriff's
remaining.
a good spray transfer by Archery, but now it's 3v1. And Hyjinx just needs to get this one onto the Cypher. They're going to triple swing him, and he could be falling down, but Q able to get one. No more. That's all he gets. 2-1. Sizzle still up, though.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see out of a bonus round. You know, Archery with that spray, just absolutely going insane there. Picking up his first 2 of this game, but, I mean, that was such a close bonus round, now that I think about it. Just, you know, with the amount of people that died there, it does kind of call things into question. You can see Bibadoobie sitting with nothing but a Bulldog, Archery with a Guardian, so, you know, gonna be really interesting in these next coming rounds to see what Sizzle's able to do with these full guns.
That would be a showstopper. Sizzle and Crazy looking for that space, but Archery is going to find a trade before that comes out. But the showstopper wasted. Trades, though, still there, and the Cypher ultimate is going to provide enough information to figure out what is happening with the rest of Hyjinx. This moment is going to allow for these players to take B site, and the Cypher is going to be all the way up in CT. The question is, are they aware? They are now, as Ooze does fall, though. Now it's just on Omen. Fondue not going to be able to find it, and Q with some nice picks on the round, and it's going to allow them to bring this one back.
They brought it back indeed, and, you know, that's a really good recovery we see from them, because, you know, typically what can happen after winning that pistol is you lose the bonus round because it's a bonus round, and then in the round after that, if you didn't do, like, super good damage, like you didn't make it like a 1v1 scenario type thing, you know, you could, you know, stand to lose round 4, and then you're pushed down to an eco. No, you know, Sizzle, they respond appropriately. They say, you know what, you know, we're gonna win round 4. We're gonna force Hyjinx back down to an eco of their own. Keep our momentum up, keep our spirits high.
That's a lot of space made by that dog. I mean, that's going to allow them to get in a market. They're going to choose not to. Instead, they're going to close that door, which is honestly an interesting play that provides that. I mean, technically, there could still be somebody in market with that lurk, but yeah, that's where they're going to decide to break that door overall.
Sure. Look at where Q is.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he's on A. Like, he has the site. There's no one else there. There is potential for 5v5 retake here. I mean, maybe with some people being spotted out. I mean, Elbow is known to be completely clear, but look at Moose trying to get onto the site.
And Crazy's going to be picking up those kills. Hello, blinded. And look at this positioning, though, by Q. Like you said, is he going to be able to catch this player off guard? Yes, he is. Archery not aware of how far up Q is.
No more charges.
And that's going to allow for Sizzle to most likely convert another round on the board. Now, granted, Hyjinx just looking to do some damage with these Sheriffs. But there's only so much they can be able to get done. Although I encourage them to prove me wrong. Look for the heads.
2v4, I mean, with one Sheriff and one Vandal would be quite impressive, but Just with the rate of clock ticking.
One enemy remaining.
Now the fact that Eternal just got those 2 kills, I don't think that this is going to be possible. What do you think?
All right, a 4v0 now in favor of Sizzle. Can they convert the round? Yes, they can. It looks like there's no opposition whatsoever. That's how that goes. Unfortunate. I mean, I think Hyjinx. I think they need to kind of be like my love life and find the reply jinx. You know, they need to.
Okay.
They need to respond in some way, shape, or form, and they need to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you don't want to let all these guys pass you by Jinx, you know?
Satchel out.
Indeed. And now, ooh, hopping over the crypto, breaking it, but gets punished, absolutely. And now, Q finds one in response. The full blind, though, Maki's not able to see a thing. And now Maki's gonna be able to get that kill, though. The blind running out just in time, but now traded. Biba Doobie able to pick up an extra one for the road. So now, Sizzle still has the numbers advantage once again. And the Cypher ultimate is going to allow for them to get information, but he's still theirs. Q keeps finding these lurks and is able to get them onto site, and this could be a very bloody engagement. It's going to be Q coming out and getting one, but Q falls, and now 2v1.
Spike planted.
So 1v2 for Fondue. Let's see if his clutch can pull through.
If he doesn't, he will be blue.
No can do. Eternal gets that kill, shuts it down 5-1. And I mean, ultimately, what you have to start thinking now, if you are Hyjinx, is, okay, well, this is our map pick of Sunset, right? Like, you know, Sizzle picked Bind, we were able to take that, and now we're sitting here 5-1. We're going to be forced down to an eco again. At what point do we take a timeout, start to maybe try and correct our mistakes in previous rounds, you know? When do we get to use this double duelist comp to its, you know, fullest extent, fullest abilities? When are we going to replicate the successes of previous rounds where we've gotten really close by being aggressive on one of the extremities?
I mean, here's something that we see. It's an adaptation, actually, from the side of Hyjinx, as they are deciding to take mid for what seems like the first round on this entire map. And usually it's been the aggressive out from Sizzle, but that breach on perfect trap play and a Cypher ult in response. Hold up, Ooze is gonna get one with Cypher. Here comes the satchels, and Archery gets one with the showstopper. He gets another one with a classic. Hello. Now it's gonna be him going down to the aftershock, but 3v2 still in favor of Hyjinx on this round. And they do have this gun disadvantage, but able to dodge the Roomba. Not quite yet, though. Hello, that almost took him out. Get a little bit dangerous there, too.
What was he doing?
He was trying to be the teleporting, and he's going to teleport back to the spectating screen as he falls to the hands of Crazy. 2v2 now, very, very even.
One
now.
enemy remaining.
And Biba Doobie able to pick up one, and Ooze able to pick up the other. A very, very close round, but I believe that is a Thrifty on the side of Hyjinx.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it before. I'll say it again. It's this aggressiveness that rewards them. They did use both of their duelist ults. They used the Showstopper and the Bladestorm to get it done, but hey, it's a Thrifty, and you kind of want to use those weapons more than less. So, you know, now that we've used it, we've gotten out of the way, we still have another 5 rounds to build those ultimates back up again. And again, just being aggressive, it gave them a win in towards this round. They looked really, really strong. Now coming into it, I want to see if they can do it again, but maybe this time not towards mid, maybe towards a different extremity, maybe towards B. We do see Moose pick up the op here, so presumably we're going to get a fair bit of mid control there.
Is what you might think, but it's actually just going to be that dog to take that space once again. Now posted up on the angle, though. There is a chance that Moose could get caught off guard. Crazy looking for the trip, not able to find it just yet. But Moose looking dangerous with this op. Expecting the push out. No gun barrel spotted just yet. There's a leg, and that's exactly what Moose is going to hit. Is going to be that leg, so he's going to allow 4Crazy to get out relatively healthy with that heal up. But Ooze now falling on the A site.
Cover
Going to
going
mean
out.
that there is most likely a retake. But Fondue has some decent positioning and is able to get one onto Eternal before dipping out from the site.
He just
Plant's
dapped
gonna
it.
go down.
Plant is gonna go
He said
down.
dap me up to the there.
And you know, in a 4-on-4 retake like this, the big kind of concerning thing is there is no flashes. There is no initiator utility. Oh,
That was a nice shot out by Archery to pick this one up, but here comes the breach ult. And now, let's see if your call of the full stun gaming happens. No, it's going to be Beepadooby picking up 2 and looking for a third one. Externo just down to him, and a third one for Beepadooby. What a play, and some nice shots hit on that round.
yeah, real player. That's got 3 kills in that round. And again, this is kind of the concerning thing about some breach utility sometimes is, you know, you can hit as many people as you want, but if you don't hit everyone with that Rolling Thunder, then you're in a situation like this where, you know, Beebadooby's able to just completely farm because you're not looking his way, and he's just able to pick off 3, and, you know, boom, now Cypher is 9 and 6. I mean, you know, the good thing I can say about this is we've broken the 10-2 curse, right? You know, no more no more 10-2 halves. It's not ending 10-2, so at least I know it's not me. The other thing is that, you know, this is a timeout being taken by Sizzle, which I find to be quite interesting because they are still up 5-3, but I guess after losing the last 2 rounds, you do want to start to maybe address a couple things, and I think that might have to do with their post-plant positions, because they have been holding relatively passive post-plants, right? Not a lot of post-plant positions on the site. It's been a lot of trying to wrap around, lurk at A, and then, you know, plant A, which is fine, but you need to have you need to fight for a bit more of that control around the extremities. Fight for that short control. Fight for the CT control. And then likewise, if you're going to go and hit B and you're going to try and end on B, you know, fight for that backside control a fair bit more, as opposed to what you're currently doing, which is playing super, super passive towards the front of those sites.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, how is the showstopper going to be utilized? And it's going to be utilized into the floor, I guess. Crazy not able to find a pick. And a very, very aggressive coming out of this timeout. The operator could be used to find something, but Beebadooby is going to be able to get Crazy down for that one and not punish fully the aggressive play. Archery also finding one, and Beebadooby re-swinging and getting another one for the road. And that spike is down on site. Hyjinx knows it. 4v2
remaining.
Isolates it, and Beebadooby with 2 really, really huge rounds back to back. Now looking for this final player, and it's going to be Moose that picks up with the operator.
That was about as flawless as you could hope for. I mean, 4 alive, plus your operator getting carried over into the next round. This has been a wonderful recovery by Hyjinx so far. Maybe they just needed a little time to warm their way up into this map, but I mean, Beebadooby's been absolutely, you know, playing out of their mind. 12 and 6 so far, and, you know, that neural theft is available. This is kind of, unfortunately, in these, you know, this next round, this is kind of the development round, as well as an eco for Sizzle, where, you know, we're not going to see a lot of ults, but we're going to see a lot of ults start to come online by the end of this round. So hopefully in that last round will be really interesting.
Yeah, that one's not going to go too well for Crazy. He's going to run phase first into that tripwire and find an op shot. And that's not what you want to find, usually, especially if it goes into you.
They're not fun.
Yeah. Now you can see the pressure coming out. Maki's able to get 1. Eternal falls, though. That's a lot that just happened in it seems like seconds. This Paranoia now spawning in a double swing. Maki's able to get out, though. Archery looks like he wants to swing, and here it is. Has positioning on mid, and mid control is theirs. The Cypher ult going to be used, and now the tags finding Archery, but Beebadooby able to get 1 in response. Makis finds a sheriff shot that lands. But now 3v2.
What
You
will
can
they
see
do?
these players just kind of screwing around in mid. Maki's, though, finding a
30
third
seconds
with
left.
the Sheriff. Big round from Maki's right now. And this could be a response for an A hit.
I mean, Externo, hopefully just going to be able to pick up that Rolling Thunder. Just start to develop it a bit more. 15 seconds left on the clock. That plant is going to go down.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds left. Both of these players are wrapping through attacker spawn in through short. If they don't clear...
One enemy remaining.
So unfortunate timing.
There was
There it
a
is.
world. There was a world where Maki's gets the Sheriff Ace on an eco, and I was really hoping for it so that I could
I
take
was...
that.
Yeah, because you would have you saying, you know, oh yeah, you know, Maki's is gonna ace at some point in the series, and then Maki's does the unthinkable and gets a thrifty ace with a Sheriff,
Team ace.
and you know, it was like a 2v5 or a 2v4 at the same time. I mean, that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, but you know what is ridiculous is the fact that we got ourselves a tie game after what was a 5-1 start for Sizzle Esports. I mean, that's just the fact that Hyjinx has brought this one back. The timeout must have paid off, or something's going their way now, but it seems to be working.
Yeah, no, this was actually that was a timeout from Sizzle.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's done nothing but help Hyjinx, technically, or you know, Hyjinx just took that timeout themselves to go over a couple things. Who knows?
Some birds being flashed, and it's going to be Moose that comes victorious, but Moose does fall for the aggressive play. They are going to be taking control of this operator,
I've got your trail.
and that space, and the Sky Seekers are going to come out, and that's going to allow for a hit. Interesting to see if Ooze is going to pop the Seekers of his own here. Not quite yet, as Maki's going to be teleporting all the way over to B site because of the positioning of Q, but Q gets caught off guard. Doobie able to pick up that kill. The tap, not exactly finding Maki's yet, and this cam will be popped on next tap, but Doobie falls. Maki's able to get one with that rifle. And Maki's able to get 3, by the way. Hello, looking for a little bit more, and just has to provide. Externo able to pick up one with the operator. Now it's a 2v1 in favor of Sizzle. Maki's can't see anymore. The operator there. Ooh, is looking for something, and it's going to be able to bring out the clutch. What a play. 6-5 for Hyjinx.
Last round in the half.
Demon plays right now for Hyjinx. This has been a 5-round win streak from them. They have won as many rounds in a row in this one half that that Sizzle has in so far throughout the entirety of the half, not even in a row. So I mean, that already is super incredible. When we're talking about, you mentioned it previously, you know, going 5-1 down now to bring the lead to your favor, 6-5. I think even if you end this half 6-6, that's a phenomenal half.
Here is the aggression once again, looking for this kind of double satchel play, and trying to get on the site is going to be Sizzle. The judge, the full blind, is able to pick up Doobie, but the fast flood coming in because of the gun disadvantage. This showstopper, I think, trying to utilize, but no value there. And now you've got Q getting a pick of his own, but Fondue with a nice shot. And now Archery picks up an extra one over towards Market. This dog's going to splat out Mlaki. This dog going to get broken. Vandu still able to get that, but does get traded. Now 2 players away, and it's just a 1v1. And when it's all said and done, 1 flash available. You expect there to be a pop flash, self-blind himself, and it's going to be Externo that comes out on top. We got a tie game, folks, and it's a 6-6 half.
Yeah, this is about as opposite of a 10-2 that you can get. So 6-6, very refreshing for the sake of you know, competition. But I do feel like for the side of Sizzle, this is a little bittersweet, right? Like, yes, you're able to get that 6th round, you're able to tie it up 6-6. You know, make sure that there is no lead for your opponents coming into this half. But at the same time, you were 5-1 up at, you know, in the first quarter of this game. I'm really hoping that doesn't mentally kind of get to them, and I'm glad that they were able to take this last round at the end of the half, because that does mean that, you know, coming into, you know, these next 12 rounds, this next half, you know, they're not going to feel as mentally, like, out of it. Like, man, we really just lost 6 rounds in a row. you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna have to try and make do, and you know, maybe they pull something together when this side swap, and you see a bunch of that utility being applied, but Paranoia in response to push them away. Of course, the modern theory is that if you lose space one place, you should try and take it somewhere else, and that's what's gonna happen on this B side. Is Q does not get spotted, but they have to imagine he's aware here somewhere. Q being searched for, does get tagged, and Moose is able to pick up that kill with the Ghost. And this bomb is going to go down, so we're going to have a 4v5 retake. Sizzle's going to try and somehow get the number advantage on this one. And we see that through the pincher market. Maki's able to get one on a Fondue. Now, even game, Maki's able to get two, by the way. Bibadoobie picks up one, though. Cerno not exactly clear in the corner. Maki's with three now. Crazy does get traded out, though, and now Maki's trying to stick this defuse to half while he is half, and Maki's able to get four. Can I get a five? And no, it's going to be Eternal. Okay, Eternal, you really... You didn't need to steal the ace, okay? I still want my call, by the way.
This is the curse. He said Maki's was going to get an ace sometime in the series. He's just gonna get like 4 kills, 3 kills every round, just not be able to get the ace.
I think he's gotten 3 or 4 kills for the past like 4 rounds.
I mean, listen, he has been going absolutely insane. 14-11 for the side of Sizzle. Top frag for that side. I mean, it really has just been kind of a battle between Bibadoobie and Maki's to a certain degree. Archery and Q, other names to be mentioned here, but really Maki's feels like the name we're saying most of the time when we're talking about Sizzle, and likewise for Bibadoobie and Hyjinx. So
look at this play from I think it's a fast rotate play. Sizzle, they are aware of it, and Q is able to pick up a nice one. Just going to provide for a little bit of a breather, especially with that Ghost being available. But the bomb gonna go down. Bibadoobie able to pick up a nice shot there as well, picking up an extra one. Who's finding one of his own, and now 3v2 in favor of, I believe, Hyjinx. But Crazy picks up Fondue with the paint shell. Now it's about getting this post plant down. Can they figure out where these players are and land the shots to convert this round once again? Who's backs off of the positioning, but Bibadoobie able to pick up one, and that's going to provide for a little bit of a wall walk.
But there's just no time. No time. That's it.
Yeah.
Have to save here, and that hurts because you won the pistol. If you are, if you are Sizzle, you won that pistol round. It felt like yours for the taking, and now, just due to some wacky Hyjinx, Hyjinx was able to take it just by, that rush pocket strat out of B, rushing onto the site, getting that plant down, and then just playing that post plant to absolute perfection. Have to give credit to Bibadoobie. 3 kills with that Sheriff. He's tucking himself in that corner, just making sure I'm not getting killed. I'm just going to stay alive for as long as possible, because, hey, the spike is planted. All I need to do is delay for 40 seconds, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you credit where credit is due. You said that Bibadoobie was the name that we kept saying over on the side of Hyjinx, and he shows exactly why right there, able to pick up a bunch of valuable kills on the round. But now, see Hyjinx Archery finding one right off the bat. A little bit ambitious from Maki's there. Going to provide them with some free information, and this is going to prompt over an A hit. Crazy, and the rest of Sizzle aware of that, though, so are going to decide to back off, but only for the time being. Crazy gets a little ambitious as well, but Moose landing some nice, beautiful shots, and that's going to give them sight with 5-2 numbers advantage. I mean, if you're Sizzle, you really want to do some damage here on this round, and this isn't exactly ideal.
This isn't ideal at all, and I think, honestly, playing for exits here might be a really, really smart idea. For the side of Hyjinx, you don't really want to feed into their, ult point adventure. So being able to play for exits, maybe die to the spike, would be really huge. Q actually was able to salvage a rifle somehow, so maybe just opting to run away, save that for another day, might be huge for the side of Sizzle. I think, yeah, the call has been made. Run away, save that vandal for another day.
He's running Run, Forrest, run. You can
It's
do
actually
it.
just walking away very quietly instead of running.
Yeah, it is. And instead of forest, it's a singular tree.
It's actually just Q.
A
It's not even
singular
a tree.
key. A singular
Yeah.
key.
Ooh.
Ah.
Singular.
Ooh.
Ooh. Mm.
I can
So I
approve
mean,
that,
yeah, a good 8th round for Hyjinx. Just really solid info play, right? Use that neural theft, figure out what the weak site is. We know that the cipher's not at A, so the A site's easier to take. We take it. We plant the spike, and then 30 seconds later, after defending the one player who tried to peek into the site, we win.
Now you can see Hyjinx got a little bit of confidence, I would say. Trying to apply some pressure over on the tiles, but does tag up Crazy. Gonna try and get this kill, but here comes the mid pinch! Crazy fallen as Viva do be able to pick up that first pick, and now you got all of these players up on mid. External getting tagged up a little bit, but look at this A site, it is completely free, and I think that Hyjinx is aware of that, and now all of a sudden, now it's Sizzle that's realizing that as well, and they're gonna realize that they have a free site.
Yeah, Hyjinx able to just get this free plant. Ooh, free fire almost catches Eternal's head clean off, but unfortunately not going to be the case for the side of Hyjinx. That it's never mind. Fondue just struck that as well with 2, and archery just completely cleans up.
Who's got the snacks?
I think that was intended.
You think that was intended?
I don't think that was
Oh,
intended.
you don't think-
And I think that this timeout might be proving my point as Sizzle decides, you know what? The first timeout we took didn't work, but the second one will. So I think this is important. Surely the second one. Yeah. I think it's important to take this. You really want to start to kind of look back. In these past couple rounds, Maki's has been fairly quiet. Really, a lot of these names since the round 2, since the anti-eco of the pistol round, a lot of these players on Sizzle have kind of gone very quiet, and it's really concerning because you want to try and get these communications up, make sure that people are still feeling themselves, because on the defender side, you can't just ball up and run into a site, right? Like you have to spread out, you have to be constantly talking and communicating about rotations, and when you can't do that because people have gone quiet, that becomes really concerning. And so I think that's what this timeout is trying to address. If I had to just guess.
I would agree with that sentiment there, but you know what I do think is going to happen right off the back of this timeout. I think it's going to be a very strong aggression from a Raze showstopper, if I had to guess, because what was working for them was when they played aggressive, and that worked for both sides, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. So here's kind of a flash, so I wouldn't be surprised if Crazy pops the showstopper on contact from this dog, and there it is. There's the contact, but Maki's able to pick up one with the Marshall, the big one there. And the fact that these players are still alive is very, very big for added pressure, as now Crazy falls with External getting an extra pick, but External falls as well, so Fondue able to get one on the round. Now a 3v3 as players are going to be taking a second to get healed up, get some information. And at the end of the day, these players have, this Omen ultimate if they do want to back off on maybe some split decisions.
Yeah, from the shadows available for both sides here, and something else that's kind of super important is when you're in a situation like this, you know that the rotations on the defense are going to be super screwed up, right? You can see Q now slowly backing away to that B site, but he is just one man. That was scary.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
That was a little bit worrying, and Maki is now the Marshall, not quite enough to convert that kill. Vivadubi getting his one, and now should be an A plant coming down, but Eternal is able to get one there, so plant should be coming down relatively soon, deciding to plant
10
it
seconds left.
or safe because time is running low. Now Ooze spots the one player and gets him down to 1 bullet. And this reposition is, could be interesting. You don't have any more site presence, but look at the flank. Q
enemy
spots
remaining.
one, and now gets the
Last player
positioning.
standing.
Ooze though aware, and now 1 HP remaining for Eternal, and Ooze is gonna find that shot and a nice little clutch at the end of it.
Felt like a little bit of an overheat from Q.
I can catch a
I feel like if Q, you just get the one, you wait for your teammate to you know, get into position, then you can do the double swing, and you know that's gonna be like an impossible 180 flick for Ooze to hit, but instead just goes in and tries to get it done. I do love that call though from Hyjinx to eventually loop back to A, and really good kind of IQ from Fondue to, you know, be able to make the decision to use that from the shadows back into you know, help Ooze in towards that CT area.
You can see this pressure that we
I must wait a
seeing
moment.
from the side of Hyjinx. They do want to feel out how this defense is going, and it seems to be working for them. They do to spot the Cypher, but don't expect the full commit to the swing, and Q able to pick up that nice pick onto Biba Doobie. He's gonna be crying and going home just like Scooby Dooby Doo. Right before one. But crazy does get caught out by the flash now. Moose able to pick that one up. And now we got 4v4 in terms of numbers. This Aftershock trying to prevent this push coming out, but Moose is just gonna dash onto site. Maki's able to get one though. That's gonna be big for terms of numbers, and maybe could stall this plant just a little bit longer. Moose finds one though. Maki's with another one, and now there are trades everywhere, and it comes out to a 1v2. Moose gets shot in the back by Q, and that's a round finally on the board for Sizzle.
Yeah, you know, the first round since the pistol in the second half that they were able to get, and I think it just has to do with the fact that maybe Hyjinx just wasn't really able to establish enough presence or establish enough control over short to really get that split going effectively. And so, you know, it was, you know, when that rotate came in on the side of Sizzle, they were able to just kind of snuff out that one branch of the push, and then Moose is kind of just alone, isolated on the site, not really able to do much, and so wasn't able to survive Jinx.
Ibadubi finding the tag on Q, but will Q go for this peak once again? Or will we just kind of have a little bit of a, what is it called? A Western standoff?
Yeah.
Both players just waiting for the other to peek them. And now here we are, you have the regroup coming out, isolating this player. Are they aware that he has crossed yet? Ibadubi finds that kill, finds the ultimate, and I'm assuming you're going to have a sight hip out of that information. Here it comes now, Bibadubi getting a little bit aggressive, looking for this kill, doesn't spot the cross just yet, so it will be a 5v4 retake. Sizzle's going to have to find an equalizer, and I have a feeling it's going to be off the back of the showstopper. Ooh, getting a little bit close for Moose. Moose just barely able to get out, gets double stunned by both a Breach and a Sky, and there's that showstopper that we were talking about. It finds Archery, but Ooze able to pick up Crazy. Moose and Fondue getting in on the action, and now it's just up to Eternal. Eternal's not going to be able to find anything, and Moose closes out the round, brings this 11-8 for Hyjinx.
11-8, and, you know, really good round from Moose. This was someone who, you know, coming into things, did really well on Bind, right? Really well on that Yoru. Now picking up the Jet, we kind of got concerned because Moose wasn't really a name that we were mentioning a lot. You know, it was really just Bibadubi carrying for that first, you know, good stretch of the map. And now that, you know, these remaining players on the side of Hyjinx are able to start to heat up, able to start to warm their way up into the game, that's really concerning for the side of Sizzle.
So look at this aggression. You have 5 players in mid. That is a lot of pressure. And they're going to try and isolate Moose, but Moose is going to get the better of at least one of them. Now that is a rifle, so they are rewarded for their aggression. And now B-site, though, realizing that it is relatively free. Wouldn't be surprised to see these Sky Seekers invested. And yep, there it is. Ibadubi trying to get something off of the back of these Seekers. And all of these players are now known to be spotted in the mid. Cypher ultimate though for some reverse information in the other way. And here comes a Breach ultimate as well. It's an interesting play as, you know, these ultimates are getting jumps and Archery is able to get one though, does get traded. But you're talking about ultimates being used on a round where these players don't have necessarily guns. I mean, it's close and Eternal is able to get 3 on this round, but how much can you really do? The players know that they are not on spike. They're going to have to retap. Spam comes through and it finds the player. So now there's really very low hope here. And Q is going to have to opt to either save or commit to this fight. And Q's going to get one and Dipperoonie.
Yeah, and just barely at that. Barely is able to get away. As he just exited market when that spike went to explode. It's match point, not only match point, but series point for the side of Hyjinx, looking to pick up their first win in Titans of Tier 3. Just again, to remind everyone, both of these teams 0-2. So you know, being able to pick up a win here, that does mean a lot. It means your momentum can start to shift in towards the rest of the season. You can, you know, potentially make your way into those play-ins, into that last chance for playoffs. It means a lot, and so if we're able to close it out here, you know, if you're able to get that 13-8, 13-9 scoreline for a 2-0, that you got to feel pretty good going into the rest of the regular season.
I mean, a 2-0 is 2-0, but who's struggling as he just misses that one. Eternal landing a nice shot, though can't put that past him. And now some classics on the side of Hyjinx. So you'd have to assume that they are just trying to save up for this next round, or wasn't entirely sure of what the economy situation was, but you know, we're going to look at this lurk over towards mid, maybe getting caught off guard. This timing's going to be close. It's going to be rough, and Maki's able to pick up that kill. Moose wishing that one came back a little bit. But now,
Cage triggered.
Q finds some information, does get blinded by this paranoia. But the push not happening just quite yet. Hinge slowly coming in, but Eternal trying to catch one, and Eternal's gonna get it one. Eternal's gonna get an extra one. Eternal with 3 on the round. The jumping spray by Archery, not able to convert into a kill. 12-9. Sizzle stays alive.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta say, right, like, for Moose, that's, you know, that's really unfortunate what happens at the start of the round, but I mean, if you're Sizzle, that's super fortunate because you're able to take a big hitter of Moose off the board, and Bibadui gets caught out in mid, and that's your 2 heavy hitters for Hyjinx off the board immediately. The fact that you're able to convert that round just shows that once you're able to deal with those 2 really big threats from Hyjinx, it's easy. Just take it one step at a time.
And again, it's easier said than done because now they have to do it 3 more additional times in a row. And that is no easy feat, especially with how Hyjinx have been playing today. Sizzle clearing some space out to A main. And now the Seeker's being used for additional information. They desperately want to win this round, and unfortunately not going to get super much information off of that other than the fact that the players are mid. And they've given up a lot of space on A. Something that they don't know is that these players could be anywhere on A. Hyjinx trying to creep up a little bit and take as much space as they can. It looks like the play is going to be for a contact rush. That bird not going to be able to pop and find anything just quite yet. Here comes the pressure. Now walking on to the paranoia, the sight hit and the smokes are out. It looks like Moose wants something. The feed not going to be there and seen quite yet. Maki's will fall. Now Archery finds a nice little shot, and now this Wraith player is isolated. The Sky. Eternal finds a collapse, though. Does get traded by Moose. So what could have been very, very desperate measures for Sizzle turns into at least livable. Doobie now missing the timing just quite yet, but finds one. Not finding the second. Crazy's finding 2. Now Crazy needs some heroics. 1 HP. And Ooze. No bullets. It is planted for, I believe, the wallbang spam. One flash. Blind is going to land in the headshot found by Ooze. Hyjinx is going to win this one 13-9 and a 2-0 on the series.
Yeah, 2-0 on the series. Congrats to Hyjinx. I mean, like, we can break down Sunset real quick just to get there. I mean, Bibadui 23 and 15 for the KD. This was so much more even of a scoreboard, though. Just looking down between this map and Bind, oh my goodness, it was so much more like even and kind of cutthroat, despite the round count actually being quite similar, right? 13-9 both times.
It
So
did feel a little closer the second map.
yeah, and I'm wondering if that just has to do with the fact that there wasn't really an individual player who was stepping up, taking control, really kind of throwing themselves over and over again into these rounds. And if instead it was just, a lot of team play, a lot of kind of coordination coming up. You can see the stats coming up here now as we speak. Right, like looking at the kill distribution and as well as the ACS numbers, right? Only four members, only four players in this entire server had an ACS of below 200. Only one of them had an ACS of below 150. So that already just kind of tells you how close this game was and how much it came down to the finer details.
I implore anyone that does not believe that Sunset is a Cypher map to simply look at the scoreboard and look at Bibadoobie. And now, granted, yes, Bibadoobie had a very, very nice game. I mean, look at that ACS 282, but look at the other side. Look at Sizzle. I mean, Q still went 17 for 17 with a 225 ACS and was a lot of the reason why they stayed in as long as they did. So well played to both Cypher players. I mean, you did what you could, Sizzle. It just wasn't enough towards the end. And it looks like Hyjinx was able to take this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. Just kind of talking about this now, Hyjinx, they do get a win, and I do believe we have an interview with one of the Hyjinx players. So that will be quite interesting. But just to kind of hear from you first, coming into the rest of this league, again, those first 2 weeks, neither of these teams had a win, and now we're coming into the rest of this season, and Hyjinx, they get to walk away from this with a win, and Sizzle now 0-3.
Yeah, I mean, Hyjinx definitely they are going to use this momentum to come on and bring this a little bit further. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go on maybe a 3-4 game win streak here. They do seem like they have what it takes to convert these games into the wins. I'm not exactly sure how their previous games went. Maybe just a few rounds didn't go their way, but I could definitely see them going on a streak. As for Sizzle, yeah, they got some work to do, but it is by no means like they were looking like shambles. They were playing together well, and the rounds just didn't go their way. So I'm definitely excited to see if they can bring this next game that they play on week 4 to their win and hopefully get on the board there.
All right. Well, in terms of post-game analysis, that's going to do it from us. We will be back after this short break with our winners interview from presumably someone from Hyjinx, but until then, don't go anywhere just yet. Hello and welcome back to Titans of Tier 3. We are here for our winners interview, and you're probably wondering who would be inclined to make their name on Valorant Biba Doobie fan? Well, we have the answer for you with our winners interview. It is previously unnamed player, but now we know it's Zexy. Zexy, how are you doing? Congrats on the win today, my man.
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, happy that we won. Played hard. Very fun matches.
That's what's up. And I mean, listen, we can just kind of talk ourselves through this kind of game so far. You guys went into this game today not having a win so far in Titans of Tier 3. You guys were 0-2, playing up against another team who is also 0-2. So coming into this, really, really kind of concerning. You're able to get, you're if you weren't able to get that win, that's really concerning, but you're able to kind of get this dub. Momentum starts to shift. I mean, does this kind of feel like a weight off your back?
I mean, definitely. I'm kind of new to this team. So I was kind of worried about what the results would be if I came in, but it looks like we're improving way more and way faster. So yeah, it definitely did take the weight off my back. I would not like to be 0-3 because that would just suck. But had to get one for the boys.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
One for the boys.
I mean, definitely, you love to start seeing those W's go on the board, and that's going to bring your trajectory going forward, to bringing that momentum up. But I do have to ask you, we saw a lot of heroics from you today. We saw a lot of beautiful, beautiful sheriff shots. So I don't know if you remember specifically, but we had a few rounds where you were solo holding a site and you had nothing but a sheriff, and you managed to get there with get out with 3 kills. So tell me what was going through your mind when you kept getting those hard hits and you had nothing but a sheriff.
I mean, after I get the first kill, that's when I enter like flow state. I'm just straight locked in. And that's what I do. I just have like my ego becomes big and I just start having the crosshair placement. I don't even really think, bro. I just shoot them. They swing me one by one. They're all dying for sure.
Hey, we love to see a good shot.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, a good shot is fun to cast, and just to kind of wrap things up here, because we are, it's getting pretty late. Kids got school in the morning. Actually, no, it's the weekend. Kids do not have school in the morning. So, but still, nonetheless, it's getting pretty late. Kids got school during the week. We don't want to screw up their sleep schedules too much. When we kind of talk about the differences, the kind of night and days between the kind of roles that you were put in, right? Because on a map like Bind, where yes, you're playing Viper, she's super passive. She kind of plays as like sort of a sentinel, versus a Cypher, where you're like the information game that you're playing is a lot different than Viper. Like what do you do to kind of differentiate that in your head as to be like, well, this is how I need to play here. This is how I need to play here. Like, what is that? What does that look like for you?
Well, I was playing Sky on Bind.
Oh, okay, so
wasn't
even
actually
better.
playing-
You're two
Yeah.
completely different roles then. So how does
Yeah.
that?
I mean, for Bind, it was kind of hard to read, I mean, it looked to be they were like defaulting around, but it's kind of hard to grab info on that map. But on Sunset, I kind of just assumed that like if they're strong siding one side, they're always gonna have one on the other. So I just kept like taking space and seeing whether their holes were in their defense or their attack or defense, and I'd just be able to get free info off of that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, congrats on the win. And before we head out, do you wanna give any shout outs to teammates, family members, friends, staff, anyone who's watching?
Yeah, I love all my homies who are watching, and I love my team. That's all I gotta say.
All right, hey, that works with us here. Thank you
Well
so much
said.
for joining us, Zexy. Hopefully, we will get the casters to be known that it's not Biba Doobie. It's just Zexy. You're just a Biba Doobie fan. But
Yep.
thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all so much for watching. That is going to be it for Titans of Tier 3 Valorant this evening and for all of today. Thank you all so much for watching. I can't say it enough. Have a nice night, everyone. Goodbye.
All I wanna do is to put my arms around you, and watch these moments fall
I'm stuck